It is a much anticipated matchup and fans are ready for it. Straight ahead, we'll have a live report outside Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.
No individual FEMA funding is likely coming to many of the areas hit hard by February's flooding.
So it's devastating for families around here not to get the FEMA funding.
Cooler temperatures for the weekend? Well, we'll tell you, and we'll break down your 7-day forecast now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A step closer to the big dance and a big game on tap about 1 hour away. Tonight, the Cats take the floor in Music City for the SEC tournament. And we're just as ready as you are. Let's send it down to Nashville where Will Puckett and Willie Hope get us set for tonight's matchup. Guys?
Steve, hello again from the corner of 5th and Broadway. Willie and I are having a blast so far, as are many Kentucky fans. And Willie, Kentucky fans are excited about tonight, not because the Cats are playing, but because they get to see someone they haven't seen for a while.
Yep, Reed Travis will be back. We'll get to the fans in a second. But the Cats have to be excited as well. Travis missed almost a month of play dealing with that knee injury, but he'll be back in the lineup. Like Coach Calipari said, that Travis just brings something to the lineup for the Cats that they normally don't have with him. And he talked about how hard Travis worked to get back into the lineup.
He's been terrific in practice, kind of surprising. Conditioning looked okay. I asked him, how'd you do that? He said, I was on that treadmill in that water going hard. So he'll be fine. He's intense that way. So, I expect him. There'll be some jitters. He hadn't played for 2 weeks.
So Travis averaging over 11 points per game, almost 7 rebounds. But Coach Cal said it's the things that he does, his physicality, I mean, the things that he does that don't show up in the stat sheet that really make him special.
A really big leadership force on this team, Willie, and we've heard it all week how big he's going to be, and Kentucky fans are excited about it. Now, they filled into Bridgestone Arena earlier today. We talked about it earlier for the 2 big games, but they think the return of that one important piece that is Reed Travis is what's going to send them over the edge against Alabama.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with Reed Travis back, I feel like he's gonna want some revenge as well. And coming out of the gate hot with his injury being healed up, like he's gonna come with some fire.
Travis Reed's return should give us a lot of energy. I think it all boils down to Ashton Hagen running the point.
Hopefully, Reed. Hope he's ready to roll. I think he will be.
All righty, Willie. So fans are excited. We're excited, but you want to know who might be also excited? Is Coach Cal's daughter, Erin Calipari. If you know social media, you've seen her talk about her dad, and a lot this season. Amber Philpott has more on Erin Calipari.
In the last 10 seconds, I've gotten 8 notifications, because anytime I tweet anything, it's 2 hours. It's just hundreds of notifications.
Erin Calipari has grown up in the spotlight, and probably the brightest has been her dad's time at the University of Kentucky. As an adult, the oldest of the Calipari children, Dr. Erin Calipari is a researcher at Vanderbilt University Medical Center studying addiction. When she's out of the lab, she's also known for her quick and witty responses to those that both love and hate her family.
It's amazing the things people will say to you. But I don't know, it's kind of I think I'm more likely to do it if people are insulting my family or people that I care about than myself.
Calipari says her Twitter feed is often split between science and sports, and not a lot gets past her without a response. While she doesn't stand for others giving her brother Brad a hard time, she says that's reserved for her only.
He's the Italian son, so you have to keep him balanced, right? The parents are building him up, and then the siblings are from keeping him humble. And so that is my role.
She isn't the only Calipari making a name for herself on social media. Her mom, Ellen, has become a regular on Instagram. Her hilarious posts include making fun of Coach Cal, life, and of course her family. The jump into the online world makes this daughter happy for the mom she loves and adores.
And so it's so inspiring to see her just be herself out in public now and see the person that I always knew she was. Other people get to see how awesome she is.
Steve, a shot at redemption for the Cats tonight against a team that they lost to in the first week of the SEC play in the first Saturday in January. Now Kentucky on SEC Network at 7 o'clock from Bridgestone. Willie Hope will have more on the team coming up in Sports at 6. For now, we'll send it back to the studio live outside of Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Will, thank you very much. Now, while you watch Kentucky on TV tonight, you could also listen to the girls' Sweet 16 at 8 o'clock tonight. 2 Mountain teams will tip off for a chance to play in the Final Four. It pits Pulaski Southwestern against North Laurel. The Lady Warriors got the best of the Lady Jags a few weeks ago, but now it's all about surviving or going home. You can stream the game online by going to khsaa.org. Sports Director Marcus Browning will have a more in-depth preview a little bit later in sports.
Well, a nice day for many, especially if you're in southern and southeastern Kentucky. The cold air taking its sweet time to get to you, and the sunshine sticking around for a little bit longer. Notice Whitesburg, blue skies, clear conditions, and really, if you're down in southeastern Kentucky, you still probably have another hour or two before that cloud cover reaches you and temperatures begin to cool down along with those really cold temperatures. Notice it's 43 in Lexington, 44 in Louisville, and 50s already showing up in Perry County and also in Harlan County at this time. For tonight, 32 degrees, winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour, holding on to a stray rain chance as you work up to the north. Winds will still be out of the west at 5 to 10, and it's important to note that just because it is tonight that front's passing through, we still will deal with some gusty winds tonight. Now, Steve, it's going to be just as cold in Nashville as it will be for us here for majority of the weekend. We'll track that forecast for Nashville and also Kentucky coming up here in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Andrew. Individual FEMA assistance is not coming to Magoffin County after February's devastating flooding. Officials in Syersville say many people who lost things in the flooding were counting on that money. They will receive public FEMA funds, though, to repair things like roadways. WYMT's Connor James is breaking down what this means and what comes next for the county.
A devastating day.
It is.
As Magoffin County
We didn't have enough. Yeah, we fell short.
Did not meet the criteria for individual FEMA assistance.
70 to 80 homes had to be impacted.
That funding would have helped the many people with thousands of dollars in damage.
People were counting on, maybe getting some help, some funding, so they can get some of this stuff back, and not going to happen.
People like Jared Salyer.
So it's devastating to families around here not to get the FEMA funding.
Flooding hit near where he lives.
Salyer Branch, Route 7.
Destroying property.
Yeah, wash cupboards out and stuff.
He says many people with severe damage to their property can't afford to fix it themselves.
People lost homes, lost their homes, lost part of their land.
Now, the county did qualify for public assistance from FEMA.
Public assistance side, as far as roads and stuff, we are going to get some funding from that.
About $3 million will help with that. The individual assistance that would go to people impacted, though, that's not coming, but still.
It's better to have some funding than none at all.
Like I said, it's hard enough around here as it is, and with losing what they have to do with their homes, their land, and transportation even. This FEMA funding, it's what they depended on to help build back.
As people try and find a way to rebuild. In Magoffin County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Magoffin County's emergency management director says to his knowledge, no counties ended up receiving individual FEMA assistance. The ongoing dispute between teachers and our state government is far from over. Kentucky Education Commissioner Wayne Lewis sent a letter to 10 school districts. He is asking for teacher attendance records from recent sick-out days. The state teachers union calls it a scare tactic to silence teachers, but the education commissioner says it needs to be done.
They have the same right that I have to be at the Capitol and to protest and do whatever they need to do. What we don't have a right to do is to call in sick when we're not sick.
The Kentucky Education Association says they fear he's building an enemies list of educators and trying to silence them. In a statement, they ask, what is he trying to achieve? Who is he targeting? And why now? Meanwhile, Kentucky is one step closer to cracking down on drunk drivers. A bill is headed to the governor's desk that would require all DUI offenders to prove they are sober before driving. If he signs it into law, it would make ignition interlocks an option for first-time DUI offenders. The people would have the option of losing their license for 9 months or 6 months with a device attached to their car that makes them prove they are sober before it will start. 49 people dead, 20 seriously injured following a shooting in New Zealand. Police have arrested one man. Yesterday's attack targeted 2 mosques in the city of Christchurch. Earlier today, we learned a Hazard couple is in the country vacationing. WYMT's Justin Case talked to them a short time ago and joins us from the newsroom. Justin?
Steve, Ken and Diana Petula live in Hazard. They're the ones who own the McDonald's here in town. They were out yesterday on an excursion on the northern island of New Zealand and didn't know about the shooting until they got back on their cruise ship. With limited cell service, the couple took to social media to let friends and family know that they are okay. Even though the shooting happened on the southern island, they say it's been shocking and heartbreaking being so close to where 49 people were murdered.
It's a beautiful country. I mean, it's probably one of the nicest places we've ever seen, and to have something like that happen so close, it just really hits home. It's just an awful thing to have to experience, but, you know, we pray for everybody involved.
Steve, I also talked with Sarah Hughes, a Pike County native who now lives in New Zealand. She says that country is just not a place where things like this happen. Hughes and I talked about how yesterday's events affect her and her family and what she hopes to see now in the wake of the shootings. That conversation and more coming up tonight at 11. Steve?
All right, Justin, thank you. Today we learned Elwood Six will appear back in court on April 18th. He is accused of killing a man about 2 years ago in Martin County. Six pleaded not guilty today. A grand jury handed down a superseding indictment against him earlier this year. They upgraded his charges from second-degree manslaughter to first-degree. Investigators say he killed Rodney Stepp in 2017. A man is dead after his job took a dangerous turn. The coroner in Whitley County says the man was 45 years old. While working as a tree trimmer in Corbin, a tree apparently hit him in the head, killing him. They have not released the man's name at this time. This morning, a woman facing charges in a stabbing case pleaded not guilty. A Bell County grand jury indicted Tamara Jackson last week. Investigators say she stabbed a man in January. Jackson is charged with first-degree assault and tampering with physical evidence.
Well, sunny skies and cooler temperatures will climb all the way up to the 50s, drop back down before another warming trend. Those details coming up in 3 minutes.
But first, children are raising money for a Leslie County toddler who remains in the hospital after flu complications.